As she
I
says
have
that,
one
you feel a
question,
shock
what is
running up
the
your
other
arm.
part of
Uh,
that?
your shoulder starts to vibrate, and you feel something as if it's being branded on your shoulder. And then the feeling fades.
Victor, not saying anything yet, just looks, kind of like pulls up his sleeve to see if there's an actual brand. Considering, did it feel like a burning sensation, or?
Yes.
Yeah, so I suppose you'll just kind of like look to see if there's anything there.
There is. There is a mark with a picture of a frog. Just a frog's face.
Cool. Right, so Victor will just turn to the others and say, "Alright, looks like we've got 3 questions.
Well, there's something she hasn't told us yet. You have not told us any particulars about the paintings you want. And no, this is not a question. As you can hear, I'm stating.
A smart little one you are.
Size does not negate brains.
So, before I ask the question to Bavlova here, and I'm asking this as... I'm asking for confirmation from Pix over here, and not addressing the question to yourself just yet. Are we asking if... Well, are we asking for what the picture looks like, Pix?
He raises a finger.
Who raises
I will
a
let
finger?
you deliberate on your questions. But it is fair for me to detail what the picture is. It is a portrait of Scabifer. There may be a few, but there should be a large one around about... She looks you up and down, Victor. A little bit taller than you. Now, me and Shishimi will go and get your hearts. You deliberate amongst yourselves what questions you wish to ask upon my return. Oh, better make them good ones, don't waste them.
Alright.
With that, she picks up the rat and walks off towards the fridge.
Well then.
Alright, so we've got 3 questions. So,
3 questions each.
do we have them each?
Each or in total?
She said 3 questions each. But let's make sure the first 3 are...
Yeah,
important.
one's...
No.
I know that she didn't specify there had to be questions about this job.
True.
So,
we want to
You
know.
told her you want information from her. That it's not about the job is pretty obvious, isn't it?
well, I
Do you
mean, to be fair, I reckon it was just an important distinction to make, Pix.
We want information about the items that we lost. So perhaps something like that.
I mean, I suppose to kind of phrase the question, it'll be something like, not really good with me words. So not on the
Lady.
Hmm?
That lady who was the ruler of Prismia before. The patron of... What was it? Stupid crawface thingy again. Oh, if I got the name. The one who couldn't... Well, nah. No one can pay attention to their own stuff, but... That one that wanted us to steal the watch.
Ah, you mean
Patron.
Ah, yeah, that's
Do you want to ask about that patron's fate?
yeah. Let's be honest, I'm kind of blanking on name of that now? It was Kelsteam, wasn't it? The individual
Yeah,
who
yeah,
wants us to
that's
steal.
the
Yeah, I know that's
patron.
not who you meant, Pix. I know you meant the patron. They basically lost contact with him, didn't they?
I think it was a her, but yes.
Given what we've learned since we come here, I would imagine that sort of the Ags have probably limited communication of, well, other powers that could probably find them. I mean, granted, that's just an assumption on my part, but I mean, honestly, sorry, go on.
Yes. I'm asking if we want to ask a direct question about it. Having our assumption is one thing. I'm talking about what we're asking.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that you were debating whether you wanted to ask a question to confirm something that we might have been able to draw a conclusion on ourselves.
No.
I think that would be dangerous thing to
Asking
do.
the question to make her talk about it.
Alright, well, how would you phrase the question?
You're the one good with words.
Well, I mean...
I'm the good one when it comes to taking things and stabbing.
Oh, right. Well, I suppose, well, what, are we just going to ask, like, I mean, don't even remember the patron's name at this point. Victor folds his arms in contemplation. I mean, I suppose we could just ask sort of if she knows of any sort of issues in the Fey Realms that would prevent warlocks from communicating with their patrons. I mean, I suppose it might open up a discussion in which you might talk just generally about the issue.
I don't really think she'll get talkative.
Yeah, I also doubt that. I think she'll answer the question and that's it. Just because she has to answer the question. I mean, for a quick list of priorities, what is the most important thing that we wish to know?
Well, I mean, we want to know where our lost stuff is, right?
Yeah. So I think if we could
Which is why I was a bit confused while we were talking about the like Steam's patron. I mean,
if we have questions left, we could
Do you think
talk
the
about
hacks
it.
would be in power if the patron was free?
Well,
No.
which is why I didn't really reckon we needed to ask about it. Well, I mean, I suppose the most sufficient question is something along the lines of, well, how do we all get our lost things back?
I'm just hoping she won't come with a bullshit answer by finding them.
Okay, suppose be a bit more specific then.
I think maybe
What are the steps?
You just say lost things. I mean,
well, it's a bit.
You lost. She's making air quotes, kind of like a clear symbol that she doesn't mean lost. I might know where they ended up.
Well, I mean, I suppose we could ask along the lines of what would the steps required be to reacquire the things that we lost at the Witchlight Carnival 8 years ago? Well,
this is a solid question, yeah.
I mean, I know it's longer for you, Pix, so maybe I could just...
Yeah, the time before last we were at the carnival.
Or maybe
Each of us was at the carnival.
our purpose for being here is because we lost something. What steps are required to take to find the things that we lost? And thereby complete the search of why we're here. Something those lines.
So just repeat that to be big man.
All of us are here with a specific purpose because we lost something. What steps?
We lost something the previous time we visited the carnival.
Yeah. We lost something the previous time.
Not a few days ago, but prior to that, we had been at the carnival.
Yeah.
We revisited the carnival and were sent here.
Well, it'll be time before last then, right? Because that would negate when we visited the Witchlight Carnival a few days ago, and then that would be relative to whenever we last visited.
Yes.
Before the last time we visited. We lost something before the last time we visited. What steps are required to acquire the things that we lost then? What specific steps?
Right, so if I got this straight, all of us are here for a specific purpose and lost something the time before last we visited the Witchlight Carnival. What specific steps are required to reacquire the things that we lost during our visit there? Actually, maybe they might have taken the stuff after we left, maybe? I suppose we don't know exactly when, so maybe I just omit the very end of that question.
Yeah, I would omit that last part.
Right, well, that's our top priority. What else do we want to know?
I think, depending on her answer there, we might need a second follow-up question. But that also depends on her response.
So maybe we just think of another question separately and reserve the second question for trying to get more information about the first then.
Yeah.
I mean, that question is probably the most important thing. I mean, actually, I could think of one thing. Maybe. Won't really be for me, admittedly.
Go ahead.
I mean, you lost your memory, didn't you, Pix? Or you don't really know what happened.
Well, I was a kid. Kids don't remember much.
Yeah, but, I mean, you kind of don't remember... You remember less than most about your childhood. I mean, would you want to ask me to ask Bevlora where they could perhaps find more people like you?
As long as she doesn't stay in the other room.
Yeah, those... I suppose in that case, the question would be on the lines of... Sort of, could you give us specific directions to the nearest settlement of... not quite sure. Nearest settlement of creatures that are the same race as my companion, Pixie, or living. Sort of, maybe it's important to state living settlement.
Inhabited settlements?
Inhabited, yeah. What do you reckon of that question, Pix?
Settlement inhabited by creatures of the same species as.
Yeah.
I would write that down. And maybe even have a third one just in case.
Yeah,
we
just
don't need to follow up.
Yeah, just give me a second.
And that could perhaps even be to confirm that which we already know.
So I think we should ask about the patron. But
Hmm.
you guys didn't want that, so.
Well, I mean, it's just more
Like,
that it.
why do you have anything to say?
Oh, yeah. I suppose I hadn't really asked you, Shining Man, or Miko for that matter, if you want to know anything specific.
Well, for me, the most important thing is to retrieve that which we lost. So. As long as we fulfill that purpose, then I'm good.
Poke, Miko.
I've got nothing beyond what I want to ask.
Right, so for Pixie's question, so where is the nearest inhabited settlement that contains living members of the same race as my companion Pixie? Reckon I need to add any more details that I'm forgetting?
Yeah, works.
Right. Well, I suppose considering that Miko and Shining Man don't really have anything specifically, I suppose we could ask about the patron for the third question. I mean, what do you want to know about it specifically, Pex?
I don't know where it is, how, like where they are, how they are.
Okay, well, considering I'm blanking on the name right now, I suppose.
What is preventing them from communicating?
What is preventing the patron of the Kenku named Kettle Steam? To kind of be specific, I suppose. What's in fact, let me just mull over that for a second.
Some communication lines appear to be disrupted between the worlds. More so than they're usually difficult. Now they seem to be completely broken. One of those is that between.
So is it
Sorry.
more about
One of
what's
those is that between the Kenku Kettle Steam and her patron. Now, we are very curious as to where and as to the condition of said patron.
So you're kind of wanting to know more about the condition of the patron?
Yes.
Alright, so I suppose in that case... Let me just think about that for a second. Because what's preventing communication? I mean, do we want to just ask directly about the condition of the patron, so it's on along the lines of sort of what is the current condition of the patron of the Kenku Kettle Steam that was in the Witchlight Carnival a few days ago?
I would omit the few days ago part.
Yeah, because we don't Yeah, this is it. Time is a bit screwy here. I suppose just trying to be as specific as possible. Do we know anything else about
It has
Kelstein?
recently been causing trouble in the Witchlight Carnival.
Yeah, I suppose recently is sort of a catch-all term.
I'm okay with this with these questions.
Right, so you know what? I'm just going to run all 3 questions by you again, and then I reckon it'll probably be about time to have a chat. So first question. All of us here for a specific purpose and lost something the time before last we visited the Witchlight Carnival. What specific steps are required to reacquire the things we lost? Second question. Where is the nearest inhabited settlement that contains living members of the same race as my companion Pixie? And finally, what is the condition of the patron of the Kenku named Kettle Steam who is recently causing trouble in the Witchlight Carnival?
Yeah.
Good enough for me.
But obviously...
Yeah, obviously depending on the follow-up questions, we might need to adjust a bit.
With that, one of the mini versions of Scabifer walks through the door and looks at you all. Looks directly up towards Nico.
Mini version of?
Ooh, that's right, I haven't used them yet, have I? Yes. It is a 2-foot-high version of Scabifer. Walks through the door and looks up towards you, Nico. If you look towards the right of the screen, right here.
Right. Okay, I see.
Ah. I will not pick it up.
It is just looking up at you with its round eyes. Waiting. Not saying a word.
Victor just looks over to it and just goes, hello? Does a little wave.
It does a little wave back.
Does it speak?
Nope.
Victor, I think
Mm-hmm.
we might need to put forth our questions to the little one here. So if you could.
Oh.
At least the first one.
Right, okay. Right, so addressing the creature. Right, so all of us here for a specific purpose and lost something the time before last we visited the Witchlight Carnival. What specific steps are required to reacquire the things we lost?
It shrugs and turns around and walks away. Back through the door.
I very much doubt that you are supposed to talk to that.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, everything is a bit confusing, Pix. Slan's customs are still...
You hear a laugh through the walls, and then footsteps coming forwards, opening the door and walking in. You spoke to one of my lordlings and asked them? Oh my god.
Well,
I thought it was your ears.
Yes, it was meant to inform me when you were ready.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, I suppose, you're quite busy. I didn't reckon it was totally unreasonable that you might have sent someone on your behalf to relay the questions for us.
No. She sits back down on the couch and pops the rat down. The rat now has a little hat on.
Adorable.
Hey, thanks.
Sashimi is not getting a girlfriend. No.
How did you know I was going that way?
Because I know who Sashimi is.
We'll get a little bird one fellow next.
I don't get the joke.
Critical role.
I guessed. I guessed it was probably something to do with that.
Marusha Ray's character has a pet. Dead pet red. Just that one is a skeleton.
Mhm.
And it's called Sashimi.
Her voice is much better.
This one is a taxidermy version, but still. And Sashimi at some point got a girlfriend.
Okay.
She purses her fingers together, folds her legs underneath her. So questions free you may ask of me. She stares at you, Victor.
Okay, so Victor would just say, so all of us here, my companions, are here for a specific purpose and lost something the time before last we visited the Witchlight Carnival. What specific steps are required to reacquire the things that we lost?
Close your eyes and take a deep breath. You must visit the one who stole what you lost. Each will be possessed by my sisters. Scabatha, I know, has a dollhouse in which she keeps the things that she takes. My other sister I do not know. You must travel to each of their realms, go into each of their abodes, and you must persuade each to give what was taken. I'll take it, whichever suits you best.
I speak to Victor. If every sister has something that was stolen.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going with this.
There's a good chance.
Right. Are you alright with me using a second question to ask more, addressing the group, not Bavlara?
For a follow-up?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so Victor takes a moment to compose himself.
By the way,
Hmm?
we asked specific steps.
We did,
Yeah,
yes.
specific steps. You gave vague steps.
The specific steps would be traveling to each realm and traveling to each of their abodes.
No, he asked specific steps for each.
My knowledge is not completely complete, so I cannot give you a step-by-step guide. However, each of my sisters has a weakness of their own that can be exploited or bargained with.
Okay.
We could, addressing the group, after the questions have been answered, always propose more questions if needed.
Yeah, only difference being is that she isn't bound by contract to answer them.
Cool.
Okay.
He didn't say who of us needs to go to which realm.
Well, yeah, that's the point. So, addressing the group.
She didn't say if she took anything.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was thinking. Alright, so I suppose I'll have to ask this off the top of my head. So, of the three sisters, which one took the lost thing from each companion, including myself, currently present, And who is in ownership of each lost thing out of the three of you?
She points towards you, Victor. Endlin Moongrave. She points to Miko. Scabifer Nightshade. She points to Nico. Scabifer Nightshade. She points to Pixie. Endlin Moongrave. Then she points to Sergio. I do not know which possesses what you were taken now.
That's interesting. All right. So Victor, once again, addressing the group specifically. So, are you satisfied with that, companions?
I am.
Yep. Good
So,
enough for me.
Yep.
So, companions specifically, of the three questions we initially discussed, of the two remaining, which would you like me to ask? The second or the
You
third?
preferred the second over
Yeah.
the third, so I can understand if that's the one you want to answer.
I
Well-
think the choice goes to Pixie. Since
Yeah.
the second question is mostly for her.
I mean, honestly, Pix, both of those questions have something to do with you, so you know what? I'll let you choose.
I'm okay going with the second.
With the second, alright. So, Victor now addressing Bevlora directly. Where is the nearest inhabited settlement that contains living members of the same race as my companion Pixie?
She looks towards Pixie and then back towards you. I don't know. The furry folk fled when the realms were split. Other Fey realms are no longer connected to these. There may be some left in Liver, maybe even Yon, maybe even in the Palace of Heart's Desire. However, there are none here, and those will be but scant individuals.
The Palace of
Furries
Heart's
are a
Desire.
pest. We are glad they are gone.
You are
Victor.
glad they are gone?
She nods.
I appreciate that you've answered our three questions,
Why?
so this is just more personal curiosity. Any particular reason you're glad that they're gone?
If you ever meet one, you will understand why.
Victor looks to Pixie and looks back to Bavlara. I mean, she's a little bit of a pain in the backside sometimes, but, you know, all in all, she ain't too bad.
She may not be, but she is very lacking from what she should be.
Well, considering you don't care much for him, maybe that ain't such a bad thing.
Eyes are shooting daggers at her.
Victor is
metaphorically.
sort of saying this, kind of like squinting his eyes a bit as if he's a little bit offended by that.
Truth be told, she's looking towards Pixie, staring daggers right back. If you do ever meet them, you may not like them very much.
We'll see.
Now, the deal was struck, the payment was given. 7 days, not including today.
Right. Did you get the
We
hearts,
shall
by
meet
the way?
here by the end of 7 days, but you did say you were giving us 2 things to take for the prior deal.
She nods. The door opens, and one of the little lordlings comes through carrying the beating heart that was in the chest, and pops it on the table in front of Victor. It continues to beat away.
Any particular way we should store this, since we're going to be... might take us a few minutes to get back to its rightful owner.
You could put it in your pockets if you really wished. You could eat it. You might not like it very much, but wherever you want to store it, you store it. Bothers me not, this is not mine anymore. Another lordling comes down the stairs, carrying a ram's skull. It props it on the table, and then jumps onto the couch beside Bavlora and whispers into her ear. She frowns, looks towards it, it nods, and she looks back. I am sorry, but I have something I must attend to, it seems. With that, she stands up.
We okay to...
We have something to attend to ourselves. We'll meet again before the week is gone.
I will bid you adieu.
Right,
She looks towards you, Victor. Do not break my contract. And with that, she turns and she goes up the stairs.